Generally, I've always worked with people I know, usually people who either are taking a graduate version of the class or have taken a graduate version of the class that I'm teaching as a WAC class to undergraduates. So they've either done that or are doing that, or there's someone who took that class as an undergraduate, so that they are familiar with the subject matter. I think that's important. They generally know the novels that we're looking at and the students are writing about. And they've taken the workshop, so I know that they've gone through the same kind of WAC training that I have. And then I meet with them just to talk about specifically, you know, here's the week that you need to like block off and just plan to meet with students. Here's the week that you're going to be vetting thesis statements, you know, so that they kind of know when their busy times are going to be. And I don't, you know, try to keep them equally busy throughout the semester. I let them know there are certain times that are going to be hectic times, and I try to let them know in advance what those times are.
But I'm using the reading response in both of my sections of global issues, and each section has 120. I had to know before I made my syllabus that I was going to get a graduate assistant, because while I read them, my graduate assistant does the counting. He, every week, he sends me an updated Excel file where he's been counting. He looks at how often they use the same response type, and every Monday morning, I read them all again, even though my poor graduate assistant must hate this.
We like to have a consultant to get them through some of the basics, you know, some of the grammar problems, the tense problems, just some of the basic writing. And then we grade everything first round, but then we can focus more on the mechanics of the paper. Are things in the right section? Are your conclusions logical? Did you analyze that data? Did you put the right data in there?
A week before the paper is due, I have them email the writing consultant with a tentative thesis statement and an introductory paragraph, you know, kind of laying out how they're going to prove their argument. And I have the writing consultant look at those and kind of vet those and tell 60% of them that they don't really have a thesis yet.
One of the benefits is that the work that comes to you after it has been through a process of revision, a draft, a revision, a meeting with a critique or what have you, with a tutoring session with the WAC consultant, that work will be easier to grade, easier to read, far better than, I would argue, than you would get without a WAC consultant.
The students always have the option of meeting with them. You know, I don't require them to meet with the consultant for the second paper, but that person is always available to meet, and some students will take advantage of that. Like today, my writing consultant, he's also a graduate student in a graduate choice class I'm teaching. And the graduate class read Dubliners, but the undergraduate class didn't. So I had him come in today and do a brief presentation on Dubliners. So that's something that's kind of challenging and exciting for him, because most of my writing consultants haven't been GRAs, you know, so this is a chance for them to get a little bit of teaching experience as well. So it's something that's fun for him to do and useful for them. Or I'll have them come in sometimes after they've looked at the first papers and had their conferences and all of that. I'll have them usually come in and do a brief presentation on common problems they saw.
When you develop this great working relationship with a faculty member, it can open up so many other doors for you. I've had the opportunity to even facilitate a discussion in his class.
To give the opportunity to students who haven't taught yet, because so many of our master's students are unfunded, so you know, it's a nice chance for them to get their foot in the door.